Sure.
Okay. Well, anarchy is when you, as an individual of free will with guaranteed rights and liberties, okay,
Hmm.
participate and interface with government as much as you want or as little as you want, but you do have the
Exactly.
right.
You make choices and associations based on your
Right.
individual
You do
choice.
have the right to um, influence decision making from a grassroots level. Okay, so you interface with the political machine, and it's run from the bottom up. It's an inverted hierarchy. You know what I mean?
A voting anarchist should probably try to be involved in a party as well, as much as that seems like a contradiction because party politics is even more non-anarchistic. But in the sense that if you're going to influence, you try to influence at any level you possibly can. And if you're going to influence, the idea is that not all influence is bad. There are a variety of people involved in politics.
Right. Some of
And
them are good, some of them are bad. Right. So you can't lump them all together and tar them with the same brush, because that's the conservative playbook going right there. They want you to have no faith in any politician. They don't care if you think that they're bad. They want you to think that the other guys are
and
bad too, so that you
it's
give up on the whole thing.
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy too, Tony. Think about it. Me, you, other people we know who are anarchists, and other people we know who are maybe socialists or liberals or NDP members decide, you know what, let's forsake the whole system that is actually going to make decisions. Let's for a moment just go, even though that's the place that we know decision making is actually held as far as political decision making, and it's intertwining with economic decision making, because that happens too. Let's just pull out of this, and then what? You know what I mean? You're still gonna have,
We'll do direct action.
what's that?
We'll do direct action.
We'll do direct action. Do
What the
direct
heck is
action.
that? What is
Doesn't
that?
mean you can't vote. I am
Yeah.
totally for direct action in the sense that you go ahead,
With
do
your-
everything
make
you
your-
can within your community to make sure that your voice is heard, that you build community, that you oppose things that are wrong.
Use your money in a
Absolutely.
socially responsible way, right? Maybe shop at independent stores instead of Walmart. Kind of vote with your wallet. You know what I mean? Vote to sustain your local economy,
Exactly.
or not to. You know what I mean? See, these are examples of direct action that I never see anyone really doing.
Yeah. Don't give your money to people you don't like. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
There you go.
in this world
That's
economy.
the best way to show
That is
force,
the
man.
biggest way you can actually do anything. And that is, I guess that's the most frustrating part about this whole perspective of the idea of pulling out of the economic system. And you know what? I'm actually offended by the idea that because I take part in the current political system by being a voter, that doesn't
that I've
mean
given up
that
my
I don't-
dignity. The guy said
Yeah.
it's your dignity that's at stake. The only way to
Like
have
that-
dignity is not to vote. Like that, I'm like, wow, man.
That's ignorant.
That's
It's-
it's worded very strongly. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Allow me my own concept of dignity, at least. That's the minimum requirement for dignity right there, is to be able to decide what dignity is. You know what I mean?
A person who chooses not to vote, this is kind of, and I'm going to say it here, a person who chooses not to vote is no different than a church person who doesn't choose not to vote and just doesn't vote. And that person is so apolitical, and such the distance from that person who is actually, those people are looking at what's going on in politics, and they're trying to say that it's fair to make the decision that I'm actually going to do what the most ignorant people in this society to do, and I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to vote, where other people who are the most ignorant haven't even bothered to check whether they should vote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that right there tells me where they've gone wrong, because I can go and I can take part in this electoral system without knowing that it's the be-all, end-all of everything democratic and everything progressive in this country. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like you, even though I'm probably more dedicated to the party that I usually vote for. I do not agree 100% with the party that I vote for, and I don't believe in the party system ultimately. I mean, I know there are serious flaws and problems.
It's just the only system we have, though, man. It's the only system we have.
It's what's happening right now, and that's the system that's actually in Parliament and passing laws. And therefore, to not influence that, to not try to have an effect on it, makes no sense to me. To choose not to have an effect on it, it is a form of direct action, deciding I am going to sacrifice my apparent my humility, and I am going to take part in this system, even though I don't completely agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, that should be as fair and as accepted, or even or be accepted by people who think that they shouldn't take part. Get involved with the political party, influence the choices that party makes. Technically that's undemocratic, because it's not an electable issue. It's a inter-party issue or an internal party issue. And as much as party politics may reek, and anarchists may hate that even more, you can actually have a choice. You can influence what that party thinks by being involved in their riding association. I mean, isn't that direct democracy in a way the closest thing we get? I mean, you have a chance to take part. It's through a format you may not completely agree with.
Yeah, it's
but
just
that
the most
doesn't
important
mean
thing
that
is to get in
part
there.
Means you agree with it 100%.
Yeah. Let's not make any mistake here. If we live in a democracy and I take interest in it and you do not, and the whole functioning of the society is dependent on us staying in tune and coordinating and actually running society for its betterment, using the power that we have in the vote. If you don't vote, you're not doing your part of that duty.
Nope. You're going to get beat up every day by that bully, and he's going to take your candy every day, and every day you're going to pretend that it's okay because you didn't vote. Just like those other fucking suckers that voted that are getting beat up every day too.
Yeah, and we all get beat up because some of those people didn't vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
let's put it this way: if you don't want to think about how to vote, how you should vote, what you need to do is go out, find the person that you like most and you have most similarities with, both in life and in terms of your socioeconomic position. Find out how that person is voting. Vote that way.
Look at their
just vote that way. It'll only take you 15 minutes.
I would always add to people, look at what they say, but also look at their record, because that is so important now that we've seen what Stephen Harper has done with his majority rule. That conservatives that are looking at what they really want, again, and it's like part of this is hard for me, but you could get that from the Liberal Party. I'm just saying, it's like, they're and without all the fucking crap.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, come on, guys. This is an NDPer telling you to vote for the Liberals.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I don't see much difference between any of the progressive parties, to be quite honest with you. Everybody's come to the center.
I would love to see every conservative vote Liberal, Tony, at this point.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope all of Justin Trudeau's support comes off the back of the Harper Conservatives, because it'd be counterproductive if it came all off of the NDP. You know what I mean? If Harper still keeps the same amount of votes, he's going to retain power.
I don't put a lot of stock into polls in between election cycles, but at the same time, they are polls, and you never get an answer on them. I guess that's the difference, right? Because there is no election after these polls are released. But from what we're seeing in the polls, the NDP are polling high. Again, the question becomes, what happens to the Liberal Party if Justin Trudeau does run for them? And the Conservatives seem to be dipping a little bit. again, though, like you pointed out, though, the dangerous question between the 30 new ridings that come out that are, what is it, 25 of them are carved out of conservative ridings,
Yeah.
or that's the suggested model right now, and the fact that that in the end a strong Liberal and NDP race could actually mean that, what if Stephen Harper gets a majority with 36% or 34%?
Possible. It is possible.
God forbid.
What are they doing? They break in like high population growth of the 905 belt, especially in the areas like Mississauga and Brampton, that area.
I guess so.
Are they probably splitting those ones? Those are conservative ridings.
Yeah. Well, the claim is that, and I want to talk about this issue in full depth at some point on our show within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because there are some good interviews that are out there too, and it's something that's kind of slipped past us because it's already past the initial decision point where people, as citizens of Canada, have a say, and we're on to the second round where now this group that has been chosen to distinguish what ridings need to be adjusted are going to make these adjustments based on a range of reasons, from population growth in that area to traditional roots in that area to different things that citizens explain to them about the nature of the area to geographical concerns and all the rest.
Right.
But what it comes down to is that if 25 of these new ridings are going to be carved out of conservative ridings in a new parliament with 338 seats, to see how many of those seats are conservatives going to win. Yeah, we'd really have to go and ask all the riding associations from different parties and see where the polling
the math kind of does
in.
itself. That would boil down, no matter how you slice or dice it. That's going to boil down.
It sounds like they're going to win 20
advantage.
more seats by having 338 seats. That's what it sounds
totally.
like.
Let's go to a track and come back and wrap her up. How's that sound?
Sounds good,
Here
man.
we go. This is Lady Tron with Black Cat.